What's going on, everybody? My name is Amir Jakar Cooper. I will be talking about my major project for this midterm from American government. My topic was AI and how it affects the youth and their mental health. In my paper, I talk about media bias and how it can show up even in trusted articles. My main point is that bias is not always obvious. Sometimes it happens in small ways, like how information is presented or what details are left out, because a lot of times these websites don't be having enough information on them. That's why it's important to always have more than one source. I focus on two types of bias: omission bias and framing bias. The first article I looked at was the APA Health Advisory about artificial intelligence in adolescents. This article mostly focuses on the risk of AI and the need to protect young people. Because it highlights dangers and safety concerns, I said it shows framing bias. It makes readers think about AI mainly as something risky, because with the details shown in the article, it's telling us strictly about how it plays an effect on our mental health, being able to interpret, being able to develop eating disorders, not using their brain to their full extent and getting the information so fast to where they're not using their full brain. The second article was from Behavioral Health News about social media and youth mental health. It talks about both risk and benefits, but it focuses more on the negative effects and gives advice to families on limiting technology use. Without parental guidance, kids can do whatever they want on their devices. You never know what your child is learning, so make sure you keep a great watch on what they're viewing, all right? Because we don't want them getting their hands on the wrong information, only the right information to educate them. I said this shows omission bias because it does not spend as much time discussing the positive effects, though it is some positive effects if you use AI properly. I also included a 2025 Gallup poll that showed only 28% of Americans trust the media to report news fairly. That is crazy. That is such a low percentage. And I think it was one of the lowest percentages that they had in such a long time. The fact that we can't even trust our own news stations anymore because there's so much false information going around to keep us in a loop. We have to escape the loop. We must come up with some great sources to believe in, because the real source is God. We can't depend on these news articles out here, all right? Make sure you got a good source every time you do some research, okay? This shows that many people already question the media. That is why it is important to understand bias. Overall, this assignment helped me see that the media does not just give us facts. It also shapes how we think about important issues like AI and youth mental health. It helped me practice thinking more critically about the information I read, because as a growing student, I do a lot of research recently, and I need to be able to know what a great citation is. So I must take my time, learn what a good source is. Thank y'all for y'all time. Peace and blessings.